balancing your energy. I think a lot of things, basically, or a lot of self-progression, a lot of like self-actualization always wraps back around to balance, and finding the right balance of everything. Like, there was a period of time where I was super healthy. I ate all the right things and I didn't eat any garbage, and I ended up being sick, and I really couldn't be bothered to make dinner, so I ended up going to the fish and chip shops. And at the time, I think I was veggie vegan, and I actually got some like greasy chips and can't remember what else, like a veggie burger or something, and that actually healed me. Like, right after eating that, I felt so much better. Like, it literally revitalized me. And I'm not saying that like it is the cure, but in that moment of time it was the cure. And that's one thing that taught me about balance. Another thing is, like, the more balanced you are, like, the deeper you become connected to the idea of balance and the idea of essentially, like, the idea of sustained, prolonged happiness. I think, like, the longer you can become balanced, the longer you can sustain being balanced, then the longer you can actually be in a state of being where balance is everything, essentially, and the longer you can stay in a state of happiness as well. And I'm not talking about like artificial happiness, like scrolling on social media, like the dopamine that you get from that. I'm talking about the states of nirvana that like Buddhism and Hinduism talk about. I think that comes from a state of sustained balance. Now, let me just define balance. I believe that to be like the scale, like staying in tune with the scale of emotions and not allowing yourself to become kind of moved by things. So say, not allowing yourself to be lost in anger, not allowing yourself to be lost in lust, not allowing yourself to be lost in wrath, in sadness, and even not overly indulging in chasing dopamine, in chasing happiness. I think that if you can be balanced in all of these things, then you will achieve a sense of such deep happiness, because you're not reliant on any sort of expectation of things being good or things being happy and all of that. Like, if you let go of that, then that's such a huge key to keeping that balance. And that actually leads me on to something that I want to talk about, is that expectation is such a, like, poison almost. Like, expectation sometimes can be such a poison, and not always, because there are some things like happy expectations, like expecting the best for your life, except like essentially like expecting the best possible life for yourself, and even that, sometimes if you expect that best possible life to occur, then that might lead you into a very certain idea of what that best life is, and that could actually stop something that will bring you a deeper happiness because of your idea of the best life possible for yourself. So that expectation almost creates the sadness. the expectation of expecting someone to do something will then create friction if that person doesn't do that thing. And the same applies to literally all things. Like if you expect something, a very specific thing, and that doesn't happen, and then you correlate that with a feeling of sadness, anger, etc., etc., like if you don't get your way, then you'll be sad or angry. Like if you don't get your way, if you always will become sad or angry, then that just becomes a trap. Like you are literally, you have like the formula of happiness in your head, and you're essentially just keying in that formula unconsciously every single time something happens, whether that be even for like your formula for sadness. Like if something doesn't go your way and you know that that's going to make you sad if it doesn't go your way, then like you've instantly keyed in the formula of sadness without you even realizing that you've done that. But if you actually don't have that formula and you're just awareness and present awareness, then that form of balance sustains you. That form of balance literally allows you to enjoy the moment and not to be controlling the moment. And that's what it stems back to. I think sometimes that control and our idea of having to control our lives and control X, control Y, control people, like, and even just having things go exactly our way puts us in a vulnerable position. I do believe in having your own personal standards and your own personal way of living life. But then when you try to enforce that way onto other people, then that's when the expectance then comes over and starts to disappoint you and cause you suffering, which then brings you back to balance. So balancing is like, it is like non-expectance, because I think that the key to balance is not expecting a very certain result from your actions, because then you almost become tethered to the actions that are happening outside of you. But true happiness comes from within yourself. True balance occurs within yourself. And that then also, that balance within yourself is cultivated by you, essentially, by you letting go of your expectation of things happening exactly the way that you want it to. I'm going around in circles right now, and I apologize for that, but you understand, or I hope that you understand what it is that I'm trying to communicate. Learning how to balance yourself, to regulate your emotions, to regulate your expectations, and to become aware of your expectations are such powerful ways to master yourself and to master your mind. But we're all on that path, you know, whether you're conscious of it or not, then you're still trying to regulate, you're still trying to attain happiness, you're still trying to attain a certain level of existence. So yeah, balance is key. God bless.